Combine like terms. This should look familiar to today because we've done it before, but I want to review with you. So let's write 4x plus 3, about 3 or 4 lines down. We're going to go through each of these parts again. Hopefully you remember the x is the variable. Well, the 4 out in front of it is called a coefficient. It's a word you'll start hearing more and more of. It's a number that is multiplied by the variable. So this tells me this isn't really the number 4, it's I have 4 x's. X plus x plus x plus x plus x, or 4 x's. Then we have the operator, and you will notice this will either be an addition or subtraction sign. And then we have what is called the constant. It's the number that stands alone. Each of these that have an operator that separates them, is called the terms. And together, they make up the algebraic expression. Remember, expression doesn't have an equal sign. So we're going to put like terms together. A like term is terms with the same variable to the same exponent. So we've done this slide before, but let's just review it. If I have 4x and a negative 10x, most people think these are unlike and they cannot go together. However, they're like because I only look at the variable. The variable is the x, they both have an x. It doesn't matter if one's positive or one's negative. That is like terms, they will go together. This next one is unlike. It's unlike because this is an xy and this is a y. This next one, I have x to the second power, or x squared, and x. So even though the x's are the same, they're not to the same variable. To the same exponent, so then they're not the same. They're unlike. This one is x squared y, and this one's x squared y. So those are both like. They will be able to be put together. These two are unlike. They're unlike, even though they're close, because this is x to the first power, while this one is x to the second power. This one's y to the second power, and then this one does not. So those are unlike. And the last one is like, because the AB and the AB are the same. Doesn't matter if it's negative or positive. So I want you to write combine like terms. And I want you to write this because this is what most people forget, is to watch the sign in front of the number. That's why yesterday in the distributive property I was actually circling that negative or that minus sign. So this first one, we have 3x and a negative 2x. So 3 minus 2, or a 3 and a negative 2 gives me 1x, or just x. I can write that. All right, let's get more difficult. Negative 3k plus 12 minus 2k minus 5. So I'm going to start with my variables because those should be written first. I have a negative 3k and a negative 2k. Those two go together. Negative 3 and a negative 2 is a negative 5k. Now I have a positive 12 and a negative 5. If I think about it in that way, positive 12 and a negative 5, the signs are different, so I must subtract. 12 minus 5 is 7, and I keep the sign of the higher number positive. So that's why it becomes a plus sign now, because it's a positive 7. All right, you go try this one. Stop the video now and come back and check your answer. All right, let's take a look. Starting with my variables, I'm going to start because x alphabetically comes before y. So I have a negative 2x and a negative, wrong one, and a positive 4x. So a negative 2 and a positive 4, signs are different, so I subtract. Keep the sign of the higher, so it's a positive 2x. I don't need to put the plus sign out there, but I can. Then I have a negative 7 and a positive 3. Positive 3 and a negative 7 gives me a negative 4y. And then I just have this 5, so I have plus 5. So when we write them, variable goes first. We go in alphabetical order. X, Y, and then the constant, the number without the variable. All right, last one. What would you do first? You would do the distributive property first. So putting the two lessons together. Give it a try and then come back. All right, let's take a look. You can do this a couple ways, but I want you to start looking this as a -4. So I have a -4 times 2x is a -8, I think I said xt, and a -4 times a -1 is a +4. And then I just bring down the 9t. Now I can put a 9t and a -8t together, which gives me 1t or t, and then +4. So today you'll be combining like terms, and then I threw a challenge at the end with the distributive property.